And baby, you should let me love you.
Wait.
Let me be the one to
Wait.
give you everything
Thank
you
you,
want
want
and
and
need.
need. Oh, baby,
Baby,
good
good
love
love
and
and
protection.
protection.
Make
Make
me
me
your
your
selection.
selection.
Show
Show
you
you
the
the
way
way love
love
supposed
supposed to
to
be.
be. I'm not
Baby,
hitting no
you
notes.
should let me.
I'm not hitting no notes. Welcome back to another edition of Brown Butter Popcorn. I am your host, Mike.
And I'm still dancing and singing, but I am your girl, Toy.
And I'm actually very excited for this one. This is not a movie I probably would have watched a few years ago on my own. Um,
Lucky for
but
you.
part of having a co-host is you bring your tastes to the show too. And I'm glad that you do. You're broadening my horizons.
Mm, I like that. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I'm darkening your horizons because I just make you watch scary stuff.
Yeah, you do.
Um,
It's so bad. But no, you give me some good stuff too. But I'm glad you like this.
yeah.
Because we didn't
Oh,
even
you're just
we
assuming.
didn't even talk
You're just
about
assuming.
I mean your eyes are lighting up, so I'm just gonna accept that and receive that.
All right.
And the fact that you just serenaded me in front of everyone here, I'm just gonna receive that.
I mean, my eyes light up anytime you walk into the room.
Okay, are you done?
I'm sorry, I might be feeling myself a little bit.
You
Um,
mean
so you mean what? The
I
microphone?
don't know. You me in the microphone, I guess.
But yeah, we watched You, Me, and Tuscany. We were looking forward to this movie. We were looking forward to this prior to the conversation that happened online where people were saying, you have to go support this movie. We don't get enough black rom-coms, and the success or failure of this movie could determine whether or not we have more in the future.
Mm.
I remember when I interviewed Gabrielle Dennis, she talked about, people always want me to be funny, but like I want to show that I can do
Mm.
the romantic stuff too.
Right.
And part of the reason that that probably hasn't occurred is that we don't have black rom-coms for real. Like not
Hmm.
on this scale, not in this way. We get them like on the lower level, like straight to TV, streaming, whatever,
Right.
but not for a theatrical major movie type situation.
I agree.
Now with that said, I know you don't get into the industry like that necessarily,
Right.
but can you maybe understand where that may come from? Like,
I can. And I guess coming up, I would say that most of my most of my well-beloved, I'll say,
okay.
rom-coms did not star Black people,
Mm.
but I saw that they could have filled those roles. Does that make sense?
No, and that's kind of actually probably one of the main things with this movie is they didn't have to be black
Right.
for this movie to work.
Right.
And so what you're saying is like you could see black people in the roles that those
I feel like
in
it
those
was very
situations play.
fluid. Yes,
Yeah.
I absolutely could. And I, I guess a little part of me wished that it were people who look like me
Hmm.
because, the idea that these things could happen to Black people, but we don't see it happening to Black people
Right.
is one of those things I feel like it's the lines become blurred. And so it's just like, well, I don't want to watch that because Black people don't. And that's not true. That's not true
I
at
think,
all.
and I think with this movie, what I'll say is, um, there were a few times I wanted to, that's not black activities. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
Right.
that's one of my favorite lines
Right.
is I don't like when we put ourselves in situations that we usually wouldn't put ourselves in. But what I'll say is I think they did a good job
Hmm.
of not making it about race while
Hmm.
also not ignoring
Right.
race.
Right. But you know what though? I could say that there were nods to Black activities or the
Right.
the idea that this is not Black activity, like, and so I appreciated that.
They definitely.
But
Oh, go ahead.
oh, no, no, no. I was just gonna go back to what we were talking about before, just
Okay.
like not seeing um Black romantic comedies. And I've said this before in another one of our podcasts when we did the podcast on brown sugar.
Okay. Which
So,
hasn't come out yet. I might go ahead and do it as like a double feature.
okay, okay. So with brown sugar, as I said on there, I like brown sugar because it reminds me of my best friend's wedding,
Mm,
which was like from the 90s, I
right.
think.
I'll look
Um,
it up while you keep talking.
and but the reason why I liked it because when I saw my best friend's wedding, I was just like, oh my God, I love this movie. I love it. And when I tell you I had it on VHS and I rewinded it and would watch it over and over and over again, knew every line, knew every song, everything. But I always said that could be that could be a black couple. This could be a black movie. That like that could be I could see myself,
Right.
not necessarily just in a situation like this, but you know how we watch things and we're looking for likeness. We're
Right.
looking for things to remind us of ourselves and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And so I connected to that movie. And so when I saw Brown Sugar, I was just like, oh my God, it's a black one. It's a black one. And and the storyline was so different and everything.
Right.
But the idea that this can be a thing and to see black people act it out and it not be like it looked it was anybody could be
Right.
in
Right.
that space if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
and I think for me, that's where like the shift in modern movies has kind of been. And I talked about this before, I don't remember when, with like Dope and Insecure and stuff like that. It was seeing a different kind of black people than we usually get in like mainstream films. It's
Mm.
like it feels like you have to be acting a certain way to get a producer to say, yeah, I can buy this as black people doing this.
Mm.
And that kind of shifted around the time Dope came out, around the time Insecure hit Atlanta, stuff like that. I feel like that kind of shifted, and we've been now allowed to see black characters that aren't doing stereotypical black things.
Mm. Right.
Um, but as far as the rom-coms go, that's still a frontier that had not been crossed over into, not in a real way, I don't think.
Mhm.
And I think this movie might have done that job.
So you liked it.
I did.
I
We'll get into how much later,
did.
but I find it interesting. All of these things said, white writers, white director.
Mm.
I actually did find that very, very interesting because I was like, wow, they paid again. That doesn't really matter as far as the story is concerned.
Okay.
But again, the character's lived experience matters, and so they didn't completely ignore the fact that she was a black woman.
Exactly.
They kind of did the get out thing. That's what I was going to say earlier. They did the get out thing where you got the friend on the phone who's not actually involved in the situation, who's questioning your moves.
Right.
Like, this is
Right.
not the way you're supposed to be moving. She even
Right.
referenced get out
She did.
in the movie, like straight up. And I appreciate them being on the nose. Like, people are going to say this is get out. Let's just go ahead and put it in the movie.
Exactly. And just back to what you were saying, the idea that black people can exist in spaces and places and still be
Right.
still be and not have to be confined to any not even just any stereotype but
Mhm.
just they can be these layered people.
Right.
They can be funny but they can also be fearful. They can be excited and they can also be traumatized. I don't know, like
They can be
everything. They can
whimsical,
be
you know what I'm
whimsical.
saying?
Listen, that's exactly
They can
where
be
I was going
stressed.
with that.
They can
The
have fun and
it
take
was
risks
exactly.
that don't involve drug dealers.
Okay, so I know we're not going to talk about this, but I will share this.
Okay.
Well, we are going to talk about
We
it.
can
So
talk about it if you bring it
we're going to
up.
talk about it. We're going to talk about it, but I know you were mentioning talking about it later, but
We can go where however we want to go. It's our
the
podcast.
movie this reminded me of,
Okay.
like, do we want to go there
Yeah,
now?
let's go ahead. What did it remind you of? This is a good time.
Okay, so when you said whimsical, I had to go there. It
Okay.
reminded me of the Cinderella movie with Brandy in it.
Mm.
That is what it reminded me of.
Is it just her acting? Like, Halle Bailey's acting,
No,
or just the vibes of the movie,
no,
or
it was the vibes of the movie. So, like,
that's a good one. You don't think
is
that's considered a rom-com?
it?
I think it is.
I guess it could be. It could be. Now that I'm thinking about
And I
it.
know that was an off-camera conversation where you said it's not the movie that you compare it to is not a rom-com, but I
Hmm.
think that would count as a rom-com. I'm gonna look it up and see what they classify it as on IMDb.
Yeah, look it up, look it up. But
Go ahead.
it reminded me of that. I feel like there were whimsical elements
Okay.
that were tied into the love story.
Right.
And I like that because it's just like your life can feel whimsical as a Black woman. Like
Right.
it can feel my life feels whimsical all the time. And I think you know this because I probably annoy you a lot with
Oh,
some of the things that I do and some of the things that I say. Like I'll just break out in a song. Shout out to my best friend Brittany because she'll do it too. But
y'all gonna be unstoppable in a
yeah,
couple months.
exactly. We are going to be unstoppable for you. But yeah, like it's the idea of that was just so amazing to me. And just seeing her in that way. Uh like when she was running and hiding and stuff. And
In
I
the
was just
house
like,
and like the family's
yes,
coming
exactly.
in.
I was just like, oh my gosh. But
When she fell off the
I right.
bike.
It was so whimsical, but it was just like it wasn't cheesy,
Right.
but it was cheesy. But it wasn't like over the top. And it was just like, I don't know, like to me.
They did just enough to keep it from being cheesy somehow. I don't know how
Right.
and
You
you
know,
know this is my thing.
I think I know why. I think I know
This
why.
is my thing with
I
rom-coms.
think the idea of going to this romantic place, because it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like those shots,
Shout out to
like,
the cinematographer.
yes. Oh, it was so gorgeous, so beautiful. And so the idea that you go off to this country and you see all these beautiful sights because it was never about love for her. It was really
Right.
about her
He
finding
was going to
herself.
escape.
Yeah. It was just really about her finding herself. It was really about her taking those risks that she's been so afraid to do. And the grief from losing her mom had just really had her stuck.
Yeah.
And so she gave up her passion. She gave up her dreams. She sacrificed everything. And so it's like now I need to get back to me. I need to rediscover what that is. And so the idea of doing that to me made it that's the story.
Right.
That's the fairy tale.
Right.
Let me live out my life, live out my passions. Because how many people actually get to say that they did that in their lifetime?
Yeah.
Took risks, did the scary thing, um, went somewhere without having a full plan or a full,
Bank account.
bank account. But it reminds me of something that we're learning in my class, just about the happenstance theory, the idea that if you viewing your life as if everything that comes by chance. And so if it comes by chance, you take the moment. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of
Just
like
go with it.
wondering, right, wondering what's gonna happen, and even in the toughest of times and the worst situations, like being able to know that I can make something out of this. Like there's purpose in this pain, there's purpose in all of these things. And so I can turn it into something else and not feeling like, you got to have this plan and everything has to be mapped out. I was listening to The Breakfast Club this morning. And
Okay.
the woman was on there and she was talking about, how many women wait until, much later in life to have children and everything. And she said, one of the questions, one of the people on the show asked her was regarding her thoughts about, well, what do you say to somebody that says, well, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I have enough money. I don't know if I have enough this. I don't know if
Yeah.
I've done enough that. I don't know if I'm prepared. What does that look like to have to adjust my whole life around this entire person? And so her response was, women have been doing this forever. And, in anything in life that you choose, there's always going to be a trade-off.
Yeah,
So if we do it in business, why not do it with a child? Why not do it with love? Like the idea that there's always going to be some form of exchange and we're always going to have to sacrifice something
right,
in order to gain something. And so I just to wrap it all up and just to, kind of bring it all back full circle. It's just the idea that, you can live your life like that. And I don't think we've seen enough Black characters that are doing these things because the idea that Black people just take these type of
right.
risks
Because
without
there's
being
always so many
fearful.
stakes.
Right. Without being fearful is just like ridiculous. Like I'll run through some sprinklers too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we do these things.
Yeah.
But that's enough of my rant.
I appreciate that. You actually had me thinking about like my life choices and how like I had to get to a point where I was like, I do this with other things in my life. Like I gotta take a chance on finding something real, and
Mm,
I would say that worked out for me.
mm.
So,
I think
um,
it did too.
so let's get into the movie a little bit more. We talked about Halle Bailey a little bit. I was kind of wondering, have you've seen Rege-Jean Page
Yes.
on Bridgerton, right?
Yes.
How'd you feel about him as an actor? Is
I've
that
also
your only
seen him
time
in
you've seen him?
Sylvie's Love.
What is he in
Um,
Sylvie's Love?
yes, he's the crazy cousin that's like
Um,
talking to her homegirl.
was that before Bridgerton?
Hmm.
Okay. That's why I probably wouldn't have it didn't even register for me. Because I was so focused on the main characters. But I'm trying to find him on here now. You got me tripping. Yep, there he is.
Hmm.
I remember Lance Reddick was in it. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen him in a few things. My favorite thing that I've seen him in was actually the what's that movie called? Oh my gosh. It was a video game type movie.
Oh, I saw him in For the People too.
Dungeons and Dragons. There we go. His character in Dungeons and Dragons is hilarious, and like I'm definitely still putting it out there just in case the algorithm is watching. I want a Dungeons and Dragons sequel. That movie was amazing, and I would love for him to come back. He was like this prince type character that was like very valiant. It's a inside joke.
Okay.
But like he was like super fancy and like just being pretty and looks good with a sword. And then he was like, all right, my job here is done. And like dipped. Like you'd see him again the rest of the movie. I was like, man, what?
I can tell you appreciated him. I don't know if it's that you appreciate him as an actor or you just appreciated his character because
I appreciated the character.
you were feeling like you were looking at me and looking like, oh, I would do something like that. Oh, I would say something like that. And you were so tickled. I loved it.
No comment. But no, I haven't historically necessarily been a fan of his because I've seen some stuff he's done he was not good in at all. But
Mhm.
I think he might have found something with this. But I thought like there was a point in the movie I was like, is Halle is she gonna be like something? Is she about to be a star for real? Because between Little
Right.
Mermaid and this, like she
Right.
doing her thing a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
I said that, and that I know that's bad, but I was fearful, I guess, of that.
Mhm.
Like how is she gonna come across?
Did you think she's
Because
gonna be young?
we've seen Little Mermaid, right?
I
And I
have, but
loved it.
I
I
didn't.
think I saw it twice. I don't know,
I didn't
but
see
I loved it.
it.
It was so good. But
Okay.
the idea that okay, this is romantic comedy. This isn't Disney. And so it's like
You feel like this is gonna be too grown for you?
right, I didn't want it to be too
Too big.
Disney.
Oh,
Like
you didn't exactly.
I didn't want
That
it to
was
be
my
too
concern.
Disney. Like because if you think about Disney, the whimsical and romance of it all
Right.
and that type of thing, and I don't get me wrong, I love Disney, but I didn't want to watch a Disney movie per se,
Right,
right?
right.
And so I was wondering, how is she gonna come off? Like how is her character going to be and exist? I love the fact that she was not young.
Mhm.
Like she didn't portray somebody that was like 18,
Right.
19 years old.
Something like that.
Right. So somebody that actually lived life um had these experiences, made mistakes, um, made choices in her life. Like
Right.
this wasn't somebody that,
Just
was
right now.
right. This wasn't somebody that was just starting out. This wasn't somebody that was wet behind the ears that had never, thought of things. Like I feel like a lot of times we don't see Black people in romantic comedies or doing these type of things, because there's this idea, and I thought you were going to touch on this too
Okay.
before. I thought that's where you were leading to, but the idea that, I live my life kind of sheltered a little bit because there are some things that I feel like I'm not supposed to do or
Right.
I'm afraid to do
Yeah. Like
because
one reason.
can I handle the risk, because my bounce back
Right.
ain't gonna be as quick
The
and it's not gonna
stakes.
be as easy.
The stakes are
The
always
stakes are
way
high
too
for
high
us.
for Black people,
They're so
which is
huge.
not always the case for everybody, but that is the
Right.
story that
Exactly.
is perpetuated is I got to make it out of the hood.
Right.
If I miss a paycheck, my mama gonna be on crack. Like it's always something like super
Right. And
dramatic.
like the idea that all you got is $500 in your pocket and you finna go somewhere,
Right.
like you finna travel. And you know what's crazy though? I was out when she made that decision, I was with her because I was like, girl, I go with $500 too.
Can you even get a ticket for
Like,
$5?
I was like, girl, go. I would go for $500 too because the ticket was already paid for. Remember, mom
Oh,
had
that's
already
right.
bought the
That's right.
ticket. And so it was just like, girl, in my mind, I'm like, you'll figure it out. But that's the crazy thing is I think that's even more so my adult mind
Okay.
that you'll figure it out. Like
Mm.
I feel like if I look back on my life, there were a lot of things I really just figured out. Like
Yeah.
I between the two of us, I think I might be the more riskier partner. Like I will do something and be like, you know what? This is what I've decided.
I
This is
think
what I'm gonna do.
so.
And
Are you probably in like major life decision type stuff? I've had my friends tell me they feel like I'm very brave because of the things that I have done, like as far as like career type stuff or like
mm,
even my side hustles or whatever. Like
mhm.
they always, I never
It's
see it that
true.
way because I think of myself as a very cautious person. Like if I do anything, I've thought it through like extremely heavily, like too much so probably. And
Hmm.
that's just what how anxiety works.
And see, that drives me crazy because I get anxious too, but I'm just like, okay, I can't. Like, because either I'm gonna be anxious about not making the decision, or I'm gonna be anxious about being stuck somewhere I don't want to be.
And that's
And
where,
like, I can't. The stuck somewhere I don't want to be, like that form of angst
yeah,
is just like, "Ugh,
that's
I
what
gotta
usually
go."
gets me across the threshold is I want these things for myself. I want to do these things or I want to see these things. How do I make this happen? Like that's
Right.
what it comes down to. Like I know it's risky. I know this, that, and the third, but there's a way to make this happen. Let me figure out how to make this happen.
Would you have
And
done it?
what you mean?
Would you have made the move that she made if you were 20 something year old Michael?
No.
Oh, Mike Bibbs,
No.
whatever they know you as on this podcast.
That's what I was saying. Like, if I'm
Would you
messing
have
up the
the
branding by not going by bibs, yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I've
yeah.
never been in that position because, unfortunately, unlike the character, I have always felt like the stakes were high for me in life.
That's what I was alluding to before.
So yeah, and even though I can acknowledge that it is true for me, or I felt like it was true for me, I've probably taken on things I shouldn't have. We don't have to make this a therapist section
Oh my
real
gosh.
quick. But even then I can acknowledge that it's not the case for everybody. And so I appreciate that portrayal on screen.
Right, like we can.
Can we get into the movie?
Let's go.
So you talked about her getting over there. When she gets to, hold up. One of the first things I have to mention this because this is like one of my first thoughts when we were watching the movie.
Okay.
I love the Mateo fake out in the beginning. Because like
Mm,
first of all, I don't
mm,
watch trailers.
hmm.
So I truly didn't understand how this was going to go. So when she meets him and I'm watching them, they're doing this whole, like they have a legitimate, the movie could
They
have been
had,
that.
yeah, they had chemistry.
Right. Like they had a
They
great
had a
night.
flow.
things were going. I was like,
It
what
was
they about to
vibing.
do? Like they really about to do this? Like this how we start the movie? Like
Right.
it's gonna be a oh snap, that's the dude like whatever the dude I was messing around with before I came here, and
Right.
now his brother, oh snap, type of thing. Like I thought
Right.
that was what was gonna happen.
That's that would be
That would have been a different movie.
it would have been a different
Would have been a
movie.
different movie. Matter of fact,
But
wasn't
I've
that?
seen
I'm
movies
about to say,
like
did we
that
just watch one
with what's his name?
with the Lil Rel movie?
L'Oreal, yes,
Yeah.
yes, that was that movie.
You gotta find it real quick. You gotta find it real quick.
But go ahead.
But yeah, that would have been a completely different movie if it happens, but instead you get, he falls asleep and nothing really happens and then he leaves the next morning or whatever. And it was just a fun little introduction to the way that the comedy and the romance was going to work in this movie.
Right.
I appreciated that for most of the movie it's not she's not having these romantic trysts or whatever. For most of the
Right.
movies is about her finding herself and her
Right. Right.
like having fun or being caught in these weird whimsical situations. Like she spends more time with the family than she did with Rege-Jean Page's
Mm-hmm.
character. And even then when she did, they weren't pursuing each other
No.
actively for most of the
No.
movie. Like he was showing her around and you could see there was a little chemistry there. And he was like, Mateo really got this girl. Like, dang, she
Right.
real interesting. Like
Right. Like
I ain't been
he pulled her
right,
like for real.
I ain't been captivated like this in a little bit.
Let's backtrack a little
Go
bit.
ahead.
The Little Rail movie was Unexpected Christmas.
Unexpected Christmas. Oh my
Unexpected
gosh,
Christmas.
that was a mess.
We probably should have reviewed that. Like, that was
We
good.
were
That
having
was
fun.
good.
We
That
were
was
having
good.
fun when in that time period.
But yeah.
But yeah, like I appreciated the fake out. I appreciated that the movie focused on her. And I appreciated like all the characters in Italy were fantastic. Like
Hmm.
what was the cab driver's name?
I don't know, but I tell you who my favorite character is.
I already know who yours is, so that's
Hold
why
on,
I'm thinking
pull
him.
up his name because I loved him too. Like he was fantastical.
Not fantastic.
He is fantastical. My
I already know. Yeah,
favorite.
just get it out.
Oh my God, who's my favorite character?
Francesca.
Yes, Francesca.
Lorenzo was his name.
Lorenzo, that's right, that's right, that's right. But
Lorenzo was
yeah,
great.
Francesca was amazing.
What'd you love about Francesca?
Francesca could be the homie. Like she could be my friend. Like she's so fun. She is so fun. And she's so carefree. She reckless.
She having too much fun.
She reckless. She is so reckless. But I don't know. Like she's
You really think they be twerking in Italy?
well, she was working in Italy, so they be twerking in Italy.
Oh Lord.
uh,
Oh Lord. But
but one thing that I really, really loved is how multicultural the cast was.
mhm,
Just the idea that not just having people on the screen, because like you can throw people of all nationalities
right.
together and just say, "Oh, this is a multicultural movie."
Yeah.
But I think the idea for me of like the blending, the acceptance, the respect
Right.
for each other's culture and how they blend together seamlessly. Like her out there twerking and some of the things that she was saying.
But they were singing.
Right.
Like I
But
didn't
it was
expect them to
singing,
join in with
they
the song.
started singing it too. And it's just the idea of that is just like this is not just black music, this is music.
Right.
And it goes across,
And they didn't make it
race.
goofy because I think that's a thing that happens in a lot of these movies where
Right.
like the black songs start playing and the white people start singing and dancing all awkward and stuff. No, they was just
Right.
vibing. Like they were
Right.
having a
They
good
were
time.
just vibing, singing, and Francesca hit that note, and then the mama started singing. Wasn't it Gabriella? And
Yeah.
it was just like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Like it was beautiful.
I think when Rege-Jean Page's character came on the screen and he was an asshole, I was like, how long we got to deal with this
Right.
asshole version of him? Like, how are they gonna make me convince me that she should even be talking to him? But like, they turned it around very quickly with the sandwich scene when
Hmm.
he see her in the when she see him in the alley or whatever. And even then, they had a little chemistry like
But you
already.
know what though? At the end, when he told her what he thought when he first met her, I guess it was like a reason why I'm being a jerk.
Mhm.
Like I was just like, man, if I had a girl like that, I wouldn't work that hard. Stop trying to say stuff. It's just like somebody. It's just like, man, girl, I was mean to you, but you know what I'm saying? No, no,
What's
no.
that?
I was just like, man, I just want her. If I had her, I wouldn't be going through this. I was really mad at myself, girl. I wasn't mad at you. Like, no. And you laughing because you feeling it. You know that's the type of time you on. That's the type of energy you're on.
No comment once again. We gonna keep it moving. How'd you feel about how things kind of came together by the time we get to the end of the movie with first of all, the flow was great, I can say. Like
Yeah.
we get the beginning, we're introduced to her, we're introduced to what she got going on. She goes to Italy, things, oh, I'm just gonna be in this villa, things gonna be straight. Then the family catches her, and then she get
Hmm.
caught in this lie. Now she's living this lie where she's pretending she's engaged. I can still buy into it. Again, I'm a very realist type of person, so that's why
Hmm.
rom-coms usually don't work for me.
But you know
Go
what? I
ahead.
think what helped you is what helped me. She was reckless
Mhm.
for taking the trip.
Right.
But she wasn't reckless with that money when she first got there.
No,
She
she looked for the cheap
she was
cab.
just like, I know I don't have anything. And then the fact that, the the festival being in town,
Mhm.
it's just like, oh my God, I have to figure something out or just go home.
Yeah,
Like what am I gonna do? So I think she was committed to the journey, committed to doing things, but she wasn't just about to like, YOLO
yeah,
and like let me spend every dime I got, whatever I gotta do for it, I'll do for it. Like it wasn't like
yeah.
that.
She was definitely prepared to give it up, and she found a little cheap cab when she was decided. You know what? I could just stay in his place, no harm, no foul. When the
Hmm.
family caught her, I appreciated that she didn't immediately dive into the lie. It just kind of fell into her lap, and she was like, "You
Hmm.
know what? If I gotta live this lie for a couple of days, these people will never see me again. No harm, no foul."
That
But
was
even
Lorenzo.
then, I'm about
Lorenzo,
to say Lorenzo was like, "Oh,
he
it's so
he he
romantic."
encouraged that behavior. So
Lorenzo was like, "It's so romantic. You should
mhm.
do it."
Everything was so romantic. He was just
It's
like,
like,
do it, figure it out tomorrow. And I was just like, right, girl, figure it out tomorrow. Just today, do
even
what you
then,
do.
like there were things that would occur, and she was like, I can't keep doing this. And it wasn't, again, they didn't do it too much. They did it at the right times. They made me appreciate and respect her,
Hmm.
even though she was doing something crazy. Like they allowed her to have those moments of this is stupid. I don't need to be doing this. Let me go home. Let me figure this
Right.
out. Like,
Because that's real life. We go back and forth. We debate, we question, we consider. Um, and that's I think the human in us all to do those things.
So then Mateo comes home and he initially is like, "What the hell going on? You about to wear my skin? Like, what is this?
Right,
like,
right.
why are you here?" But then he calms down in a reasonable way,
Hmm.
and he's like, "All right, well, you got to tell them what's going on because they already hate me. I ain't got time for that."
Hmm.
So then they go to do it, and he realizes, "Oh snap, they
They
love
like
her.
her
I can use that."
and now they're respecting me
Mhm. And so
like
he leaned
because of
into it.
her. Yeah.
One thing I want to definitely say. I appreciated that at the end, Mateo wasn't just like a villain and like got thrown out or nothing like that. Like this
Hmm.
whole situation bridged a gap. It
Between
got
him and
him
his
to,
family.
right. It got
Yeah.
him to say some stuff that he probably needed to say. It
Yeah.
got other people to say some stuff they needed to say or hear some things they needed to hear. And then at the end, everybody just cool. And it didn't feel fake because
Right.
at the end of the day, they loved him,
Right.
he loved them, but there was some tension in him not being on track with the vision of the
Right.
family, and him feeling like Reggae-Jean Page is, the perfect son, and I'm out here like everybody hate me.
Hmm.
Um,
I'll add to that
go
too.
ahead.
When she went back, like when she was at the bus stop, she missed the
Mm.
bus.
Oh, great scene.
Yes, she missed the bus. She's sitting at the bus stop, and grandma comes to talk to her. That was real smooth. Um,
And
And
she had been giving her nasty looks the whole movie.
right, but I think just her being like, okay, that's the most authentic I've seen her. I've seen her in all her elements. I've seen her like this and like that, and she was just like, "Girl, we're supposed to be making mistakes. Like, come on
Yeah,
now. Like, you know what I haven't seen in my lifetime, and
right.
you done seen stuff too. But like, your life is about what you want it to be about. It's
Mm.
the choices that you make. Like you have choices, and like if you can choose good,
Yeah.
choose good.
You make mistakes, you learn from them, you adapt, you apologize, and you keep it moving. Like,
Right.
eh,
And then it wasn't this long drawn out, oh my God, will they, won't they? At the end of the movie, because I was like, man, I hope they don't play the whole, oh, she come back, he's so mad and he can't talk to her, he need another night, and then the family just like, come on, you want to talk to
right.
her. And I was just like, oh my God, I don't know how much movie is left, but please don't do that because it's just gonna ruin it. And I think it was just real smooth how it was just understood.
The pacing is amazing, and I think they established the way the family moves early,
Hmm.
like the way they love, the way they embraced her, et cetera, so forth, to where by the end, when that happens, when Rege-Jean Page is just like, dang, that was crazy. I
Hmm.
love you though. What's up?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Like, man, I'm mad you lied, but shit, I ain't mad you
But I
lied
ain't mad for real. Like,
though.
I'm just glad I got a chance for real. Like, I was
Right.
mad at the end because I couldn't have you. Like, I went mad because you lied.
Right. Because even then, when he said, I don't even know you, and she was just like, no, everything was me. The only lie was like your
The
brother. Because,
pay
like, I
was
really don't want him. I really just needed somewhere to stay.
right. Like, that was not playing none of that.
Like, yeah, no.
And he didn't show his true color. So if there was any interest, it's gone.
Mm, okay, second favorite character, Dad.
So Lorenzo wasn't your second favorite character?
No,
Oh man, okay.
Dad.
All right.
What was his name? And then
I was about to say something crazy. I'm not even gonna do that right now.
what's Santiago?
Vincenzo.
Vincenzo. Okay.
Dante DiVincenzo played for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
DiVincenzo. Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's
second favorite character. I don't know. I guess you've gotten me to open up and be more comfortable on here. But I'm
okay.
really a quiet person. And so I feel like I'm just kind of quiet and observant
Mhm.
and kind of stoic
I used
and
to be that
moody
too.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I like that part of his character. Like
Mhm.
the fact that he paid attention to not only what was said, but what wasn't said.
Mhm.
And the fact that he knew how to speak to
He
Ray
only.
J. John's character.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
I love how he knew how to speak to him. And I think I feel like he knew how to speak to Mateo too, but I think the dynamics between them, because it's a father and son
yeah.
thing. Like
And he
sons are
didn't want to
gonna.
follow in his dad's footsteps.
Right. And so that idea, like anything he would say to him was going to be rejected anyways. And I'm sure with the dad, that only frustrated him more. And it's just like, you're just not listening. He's like, no, I'm not. And so, but I don't know, like that type of, energy to me is like, it's welcome.
I got you.
Like, I like it.
Yeah, I think
I think
the
you're still like that.
I am.
You're still
I
like
am.
that. You're still
They
that
people
person.
wouldn't think that. Some people wouldn't think that, but I very much am.
Yeah, you turn up on here. I told you you have a different persona
Don't do that.
when you're on the
Don't do
podcast. I remember the first time I heard you on the podcast, like, no, the first time I watched you record, I was like, oh my God, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. Who is this guy?
that.
Who is this guy?
It's when I talk about things I care about, I open up very. I can go crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
the two personas have merged now. You're different. You're definitely everything and all of you with me
okay,
now.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I just forgot.
I don't know.
Oh no, I was gonna say the cast. Like I appreciate the range of characters that we got. There
Mm,
was no wasted character. Like even the little brother that was like doing
mhm.
the TikToks and or whatever he was trying to. He kept going live, and the sister
Right.
was like, "Girl, boy, you got 3 followers. Like,
Right.
why you keep going live?" And then he kept like doing an American accent, like trying to seem cool. So he was like, "Yeah, she's from New York." Like,
Right,
okay,
the Big Apple. The
like,
Big Apple.
but as soon as she mentioned she could cook a little bit, and the dad looked at her like, "Oh, are we in? We locked in." He said, "Oh,
Right,
Mateo really did
right,
it.
right,
Mateo
right,
don't got to do it no more."
right.
But I think as far as the goofy, we're gonna call it goofy, the rom-com, oh, this just perfectly fell into place type situation. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't mind it. I didn't mind
Mm-hmm.
it. It worked for me because again, they established how important that was to her, and then it didn't just fall into her lap. Didn't just embrace it. She was scared. Like
Mm-hmm.
like you said, she had stopped going to culinary school. I appreciated that they didn't feel like they needed her to send her back to culinary school. She didn't have to finish.
Exactly.
It didn't have to be
Exactly.
perfect. It was just like, hey, you know what you're doing? Bet. Like, yes,
Exactly. That's
come
it.
work here.
That's it. Because, but you know what though? I think that that's kind of the societal constructs of
Mhm.
like what you have to do, what you have to have, what meaningful life looks like completing something, having this, and this is not to speak against any type of training or trade or education or anything like that, but the idea that that's the only way is
Right.
absurd.
Right. Like, when I was looking to get into doing film media type stuff, like I was like, should I go to film school and blah 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 blah. And I kept reading, and it was like most of the best didn't actually do that, or
Mm,
they did it their own way. And it's like, once you get established, of course, the rules kind of don't matter.
mhm,
Once you're good at what you do, the rules don't matter. And I think it's probably more common today than in the past that a lot of people working in different spaces just did it and did
mhm,
it well, and it didn't nobody cared about their credentials after that.
mhm,
So I can appreciate, like, I didn't feel like a question, should I have gone to school for journalism and stuff? Like, did
mhm.
I want to do that, and should I go back for that? And I didn't. I'm glad that we're in a space where that's not necessary. And in this movie, it wasn't even a question about do you need to go back to culinary school. She questioned it.
Right.
She was like, I didn't even finish. I kind of dropped out. He was like, we don't, that doesn't matter. Like,
But you know what
you know
that
what you're doing.
reminds me of too? Just when I talk about the societal norms, I'm talking about westernized, like we're, and even, Italy is
West,
westernized,
but it's a small village.
right? And but the idea that, you don't necessarily have to conform to this type of norm.
Yeah,
I don't think we as Black people have enough of those conversations
about
about not conforming
mm,
to the American dream, the
yeah.
idea of it, what that looks like. Because you know what I want and what I talk about all the time and stuff like that. And I was watching this YouTube the other day about this Black woman that was staying in a tiny house. And I think stop. I think it was so dope because she, she's kind of nerdy. Had all these Marvel books and said, I just really just like this is my form of reading. And she had cookbooks.
Mm,
And so,
cookbooks and comic books.
yes, cookbooks and comic books, and she stayed in a tiny house, like cottage village in Florida, and she moved
Okay.
from New York. And so, like the idea of that, like that was so dope to me because all I could do, and this was before I even saw the movie. And before I even knew what the movie was about. Like I saw her, the little thumbnail on YouTube or whatever, and I like to watch the little tiny house stuff,
Mhm.
but I saw her and I watched the video, and normally I'm just like trying to see like what's in your house? Like what
Really?
what's your house made of? Like, what did you decide? Like how are you maximizing the space? That's really what I'm looking at and what I'm
Okay.
looking for. But like I was listening to her and the things that she talked about and the fact that, she's from New York. Like she grew up in New York, like spent all her life there until about maybe 4 years ago when she decided, I want something new, I want something different, and she moved to Florida. That seemed like a hot spot for most people to just pick up and go.
Okay.
But the fact that, she did that, she left everything, sold everything, and decided to, start this life. And the idea that, well, I took that step, so I'm willing to take more because my house has wheels on it and I can really move it wherever I want to
Yeah.
go. Like I can do this. and I would have never done made this decision for. I would have never done this. I would have never done that type of thing. And the fact that she's a homebody, so the personality is still there, but she was able to take that risk and do that thing that's so scary.
Exactly.
And so that just reminds me of this movie. Like she's still who she is at her
Right.
core. Like the
Being
talent that
compromised,
she
nothing
has, the gifting that
changed.
she has with the cooking and everything, like that's ingrained in her, finished or not. Like she's
Yeah.
gonna
She
fulfill.
just kind of found herself again and found her groove.
Right.
And like you said, I mean, like we said, she was comfortable and they were comfortable with her, and that's all that mattered. Not to keep talking about outside topics, but what you were just saying reminded me of some videos I've been seeing recently, and it may just be my algorithm, but I feel like I've been seeing a lot of videos of black people in non-traditional black spaces.
Mm.
There's one guy doing a bucket list of like things that black people don't typically do. And so I was watching a video the other day. There's these stairs. I think they call it Stairway to Heaven in China, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody will correct me, I'm sure. But it's like it's a ton of stairs. And so
Mm-hmm.
like somebody said there's like a escalator you could take if you don't want to like actually walk the stairs, but he was
Mm-hmm.
walking them. I showed you the Jamaican guys like me not do that. The watching videos of white people doing crazy stuff and then grading it on a scale of one to me not do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always this is gonna be on a scale of 1 to 10, this is gonna be about a 30,000. I'm not doing that. It was like it's and then there's another one where it's a guy. Um, I've seen a few videos, a few different creators that are
Right.
doing these kind of trends, and so I don't know if it was COVID or what, but I think there's been a wave of us exploring areas that we typically might not have explored, and then
Mm-hmm.
as we see other people explore those areas, it's like, oh,
We're open to
maybe I
doing
want to
it.
do it, and
Right.
so I could see this movie starting a wave
Mm-hmm.
of black people just popping up in Italian Facebook
Right.
pages or whatever.
Right. People just gonna be taking flight.
Yeah,
Like take pictures, post, talk about it. Like do what you want, do what your heart desires. Do that thing that and the fact that it wasn't just this random thing like, oh, I'm just gonna wake up and just fly. Like, no, this is something that
she had a dream.
she had a dream.
Yeah,
And so it's like you fulfilled that dream.
do it,
Do it.
do it. You got everybody out there has something in the back of their head they said they always wanted to do. Do it.
Right. I'm
Figure out what you got to do to
curious
do it.
what what people who are listening dream about, like what they think about,
That's
they
what we put
desire,
out there.
what they want.
See if we
Yeah.
can get some interaction on that.
What do you dream about? What's oh no no no. What's the one thing that you put down, that
Mhm.
you stopped, that you gave up because you felt like it was just impossible? And maybe it was from adulthood. I mean, maybe it was from childhood and now you're an adult and like if it's something like I don't know, be a dinosaur. Of course, we can't do that. But that thing that you has always been there because I think for her it was always there. So it had to be
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
logical. It had to be something that was attainable. She could do it. It was just the fear that maybe I shouldn't do
It's
this.
too
Like,
risky,
but
but
if there's a thing, I want to
I can
know
tell
what
you
that
on a
thing
small scale. I
is.
can tell you on a small scale. I always, as a kid, wanted to have snacks when I wanted snacks. And so now I do.
You do.
I keep snacks
You
around.
keep snacks in the bedroom. You're just a snacky. So
You might as well just call me a big bag. Just call me a big bag and get it over with at this
you
point.
like you like snacks.
And
It's
it's every
starting to
now
be
and then
known
I'll be
that.
like, you know what? I want some ice cream. I'm gonna go get some ice cream right
And
now.
not
I'm
only
gonna
does he
stop.
get just ice cream, he gets a banana split
All right.
with the little cookie crumbles that look like a little, what's it called? A little dirt cake thing.
Dirt worms.
Yes, with the
You
gummy
gonna call me out the
bears
gummy?
or the
Okay.
gummy
All right.
worms.
Cool, cool,
It's
cool, cool,
so
cool.
cute. It's adorable.
I'm gonna let you
But
have that one.
yeah, if you like, do it. Like, I don't know.
Should we bring it?
I just do. I'm that's how I move.
Should we bring it full circle?
Let's bring it around.
So Will Packer is a producer on this movie. Will Packer's produced everything. Um, he has the power to make a wave of these types of movies if he really wants to. It sounded you played a video a while ago. It sounded like he was very excited about doing this for his daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he's a producer, but he's a super producer. So like he has some feedback on things that should be in the movie, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Or he said it in the clip.
Mm-hmm.
But when people were saying that this movie is important because if it does well, we're going to get more of these movies. It seems like it's doing well. Let me check the box office actually from the first weekend. Seems like
Mm-hmm.
it's doing well. So the expectation is that we should get more of these movies. And that wasn't just people being dramatic or saying everything ain't got it. I saw some people say everything don't got to be the biggest thing ever. Like sometimes we could just have a movie in this situation, the stakes are kind of real for us. Black
Mm-hmm.
Panther was important.
Mm-hmm.
What was another movie? Oh, Sinners was important.
Yeah,
Like
very important. Yeah.
when put up against being the first of its kind type of situation, it
Yeah.
matters if
Yeah.
it does well because again, it sucks that we're here at this
Right.
point
And it
in
sucks that there's a lot
the
of weight.
situation.
That's because even when you told me about it before, we got on the podcast
Uh,
like weeks ago, the idea that this movie is going to be important, I knew we had to see it. I knew we had to see it. I
right,
knew we had to talk about it. Um, because and even then I didn't even know what to expect, but the idea that, this is the conversation.
yeah,
It's like, okay, this could really be something. Like,
right. And again, it wasn't just speculation that this could be important. From what I've seen from people I listen to that know people in the industry, actual movie executives are saying they're watching to see how this movie does
because
because
they
they
say,
have scripts that they've been sitting on
yeah,
that they were like, I don't know how this is going to do.
because Black people don't watch love movies, romantic
But if they
movies.
watch this movie, we're going to see a string of movies, and I hope they're good. I'm
Mm.
trying to see what the budget is. Looks like it's made 10 million so far. Um, this doesn't seem like it should have been too high of a budget. Think so. According to Wikipedia, 18 million. So the budget was 18 million. So far, it's made 10 million. I'm pretty sure it's gonna have great word of mouth. So we'll see how this second weekend does.
Hmm.
I'm looking at the box office overall, not just it, but the movies it was up against. It looked like it was fourth this past weekend. So Super Mario Galaxy movie number one. Project Hail Mary, which has been going crazy, is number two. And I'm looking at the domestic charts right now.
Hmm.
The drama is the other. I don't know if you would call it a romance movie right now, but it has Zendaya in it, if I'm not
Mm.
mistaken. Yes, it's Zendaya and is it Robert Pattinson?
I think it is.
Which I've also heard good things about this movie.
I'm like, wow.
Zendaya, for as much as I love Halle, Zendaya got a little bit more clout.
Sure.
And I'm not gonna be mad at Zendaya doing a little bit better.
Right.
So Zendaya and them 8.7 million this week. Yumi and Tuscany 7.7 million. But this is the drama's second week in the box office. So
Hmm.
I'm curious which movie does better next week.
Mm.
Total gross for the drama is up to 30 million as of this past weekend. So only made eight this week, which means it made 20 something previously. The expectation for this movie is that it should drop, but we'll see.
Hmm.
Um, and then the fifth movie was the Hoppers movie, which I believe is that I know who's in that. I know somebody involved with that movie. I have to look it up. But the second weekend will be telling as far as what if this movie is going to have legs. Um, right now it's more than halfway to its budget, so it should at least make its budget back. But is that going to be enough for the investment to come? And we'll
Mm.
see. Any last thoughts?
Um, did you ever find out about the Cinderella movie?
Oh, it does not say comedy anywhere. It says fantasy and romance, though.
Mm. That's
So
a
it is
musical.
romance.
Some fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay. That was funny though.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it had no choice but to be funny. So,
Right.
but it is not listed as romantic comedy, so I guess technically and all that
Well, that's what they reminded me of, so
that works for me.
I'm happy.
I'm not mad
I
at it.
love the love story in that movie as well. That was one of the ones that I used to watch 1,000 times
You can
over.
see what your girl just said.
No, you know my phone goes into
Oh,
D&D after 9.
food? Oh, I'll show you.
Oh, food question mark? It's
Yes.
always a question mark. It's always a question mark. What are you doing? Nothing? Question mark. How are you feeling? Good? Question mark. Okay, never mind.
Let's close it out. This was fun. I think we've been on here about an hour, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I enjoyed this. I'm glad we did it. And I look forward to whatever's next. I think I got some horror stuff to get in your
Of
face.
course you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not apologizing for it.
Okay. Do you ever?
I could look and see real quick if you want to.
We don't have to see right now.
Yeah, I love boosters. That is God is come out next month, but we'll see.
Hmm.
I'm gonna put out the brown sugar with this.
Okay.
All right. Until next time, folks. Peace.
Peace.